What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 here with Leg and Nick. We are moving on to Wednesday, where we have Brugge versus Atalanta. I don't have predicted lineups from FotMob at this time, so I won't be able to show you the predicted starting 11s, but we're still going to talk about player props. I just won't be able to show you a graphic for those. Brugge at home is incredibly tough. These guys are very sound defensively. We saw it even against City, where they did lose 3-1, covered the spread for us. One of those came off of an own goal, so I got to kind of excuse that a little bit. But Brugge at home has been absolutely brutal all of Champions League, except for the first game versus Dortmund, which do not let that scoreline deceive you. Brugge could have scored 3 themselves. They just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So I don't know here. Atalanta without Lookman has definitely been a little rougher. One of the things I noticed over the weekend, and this is what I was talking about in Discord with my boy Greaves, Zappacosta is going to have a little bit less of a shooting role now, especially with Posh playing behind him. So I looked at Zappacosta. He'd been kind of money for me on 2 shots, especially without Lookman. But now with Posh gets involved in the attack a lot more. And Zappacosta only had 1 shot over the weekend, and it came in the 77th minute, whereas Posh was shooting early and putting them on target. So that's going to bite into Zappacosta props a little bit, but I'll get to that more in a second. For this game on the lines, I kind of lean the under 2.5 here at -111 over on
Atalanta.
Yeah, I bet 365. I just think Brugge plays really good defense. That said, I do really like both teams to score at -125 over on Caesars. I could see a 1-1 draw here. I think Brugge wants to win the game. Ideally, they win this game at home, go in with a 1-goal cushion, look to get a draw at Atalanta, which I think is going to be difficult. I think it's going to be difficult for Brugge to advance, but I don't know. This isn't the worst draw that they could have faced with a depleted Atalanta that doesn't have Lookman. I know Atalanta can score goals. I think they're going to be much better in the home leg, but I think Brugge on the handicap plus 0.5 here at -130 looks kind of tasty. Like I said, I'm leaning the under as well, but I like both teams to score -125. And go ahead and put me down for Brugge on the handicap plus 0.5 at -130.
The advice is sound. The lean is sound. You're getting a good team at home. I'll never talk anybody out of that, right? I think Brugge gets overlooked in this competition a lot. They're here in the knockout stages. It's not the first time. And Atalanta's going through a little bit of a dry spell. You mentioned it, right? Lookman's hurt. They've sold some guys. They've brought a couple of new guys in. And I say they're going through a dry spell. You know, they've only been kept off the score sheet once since the year turned. But that being said, they've scored only 1 goal and I think 3 out of their last 6 games, which is like unheard of for Atalanta. So completely get it. That being said, every time I do see a team total at a plus number, I'm always going to be interested in it. Whether this is the spot to take it or not, I think Oaks makes some good points. I don't think you need to go all in, but could I see them scoring 2? They could score 2 in the first 15 minutes. I think they did that.
Brugge could easily answer back with 2 too.
So just, I understand the logic. I was definitely surprised to hear you say an under involving these 2 teams, but definitely wait for lineups. I think there's going to be a ton of value on some of the Atalanta guys. I don't know who's getting the starts up front. Retegi's coming off a game where he had 4 goals. He's sitting at around plus 200. CDK, who's cooled off an awful lot, is sitting around plus 250. So yeah, just definitely wait for lineups. You'll be able to find value, but a draw definitely suits both teams here. Or a close game, you're not going to go and try to lose the leg in this first matchup if you're Atalanta. So completely get what you're saying.
I also don't expect Atalanta to change who they are. Like, I don't expect them to come in and think that they're going to put on a defensive masterclass against Brugge. I think they're going to play to their talents and to their strength, which is to go fast and try and score goals. which leaves them open to a counter here for Bruges. I think Bruges is just really tough defensively. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to let Leg go first, and then we'll jump into some player prop stuff.
I'm going to use the same argument that Oaks did. City scored 3 on these guys. You think that Atalanta's not going to get me at least 2?
I like it.
City scored 2 on these guys. They scored 1 on themselves.
I only need 2. I like Retequi. I don't know if he's Argentine or if he's Italian. That is
yes.
All right. Thank you,
He
Nick.
is both.
I do not respect Bruges. I'm actually going to take Atalanta straight the fuck up. I like Atalanta on the money line at plus 110. I think Nick is completely right with all the stats for their goals. I also just watched them put up 4 again, and I've seen how their form usually goes. And they put up 5.
They got another one versus Palace Slate.
I want to say the next 3 games for Atalanta are going to be very fun to watch.
I got to take Retegui coming off of a 4-goal game at plus 180. Like, that's just a disrespectful ass number over on Bet Rivers. Like Nick mentioned, I'm not going to take CDK for a goal because of his ability to assist. To score an assist at plus 155 just feels pretty disrespectful.
Wait, didn't CDK come from? Where did he come from?
Milan. Oh, yeah, originally Bruges. Yes, I'm sorry.
Bruges, though?
Uh-huh.
What's his shot on target number?
I don't know. We'll get. I didn't write it down, so I don't think it was plus money, but it's probably just. It's probably like minus 130, minus 135. Good little parlay piece.
Man, now Leg got me fired up. Atalanta score in the first half at minus 110. They score early a lot. they don't tend to have scoreless.
They're gonna have 2 goals in the first 15. It's gonna be easy, guys.
It'd be awesome if they did. We'd look great. Yeah, that's a really enticing number for me.
Some Bruges stuff I want to talk about is Tzolis. His shot on target, the Israeli international. He's plus 100 on Bet Rivers, minus 115 on Caesars just to hit the frame. Jugala, the Spanish international, who's my homie, I like him a lot. He is plus 105 on Bet Rivers, minus 115 on Caesars. Decipher, who I always talk about, he plays left back, but is really more of a left wing back who definitely gets forward and gets involved. His shot on target, plus 260 MGM. Shop around, find the best number. Him just to take a single shot is minus 135 on FanDuel. Again, I wasn't able to shop that before the show started. Same thing, like I said, with Posh. If he's playing for Atalanta, he definitely eats in to Zappacosta's shot total because he likes to shoot. Him just to take a single shot's minus 125 on FanDuel. If you can find that anything closer to plus money, like, take it. I'm fine with taking Posh just to shoot once at minus 125, but I will shop around and get the best number. This Atalanta midfield is full of nothing but dudes who fucking jack. Like I said, Zappacosta, I am worried about his volume a little bit with Posh coming over, but the rest of this midfield, Ederson, Brazilian as fuck, loves to jack for chicks. I like his shot.
Nasty goal this past weekend.
Absolutely filthy, dude. His shot on target as well. Bellanova for a shot on target at plus 350 is pretty disrespectful. If you can find his shot close to even money, I absolutely love that. So this whole midfield for Atalanta just loves to jack for chicks. You got Brazilian, you got Zappacosta, and you got Bellanova, all who like to shoot. And then you got Pasalic, who Nick hates, but and has been asked this year. He's on he's only good like every other year kind of deal. So this is his down year, but he will shoot too.
Yes, he will. 3 shots to hit row fucking 19 or higher, all day.
Probably.
Any additional player props you want to talk about, Leg or Nick?
The only other guy I'd be interested in if he's starting is Samardzic for Atalanta. I think I'm not super high on him, but I think he's a better player than he's shown so far. I'm wondering when he's going to have a breakout game. And I'm looking at like a plus 450 number for him to score. Not saying he scores, but I could see this as being one of those types of games where somebody's on the score sheet for a really big number.
All right, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe right here on youtube.com/BurOak772. It costs you guys absolutely nothing to subscribe, and it helps me out an absolute shit ton. That's how I'm able to bring free content with Nick and Leg every single week. So really would appreciate a like and a subscription. All the links below for Nick's podcast, 2FootTalk on Wednesday nights. Give those a like and subscription as well. That way you get notified anytime we go live and anytime I'm dropping new content. So appreciate you guys. We will be back shortly to talk Monaco versus Benfica. We outside!